it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're gonna be testing out a new to me brand, and that is Indi Beat Cosmetics. Now, the owner, India, reached out to me on Instagram and asked if she sent me over some products in PR if I would like to review it. And I said yes. One, because y'all know I love me some indie brands. Two, I love me some Black owned indie brands, so this made me excited because this is combining two things. So when I got the box in, that's what it looked like. It also came with, I love whenever people do this, the handwritten card. So adorable. And then it also came with some information about the owner and the brand itself. So the owner is India Mills. Born in the home of Motown, India was quickly engulfed in music, singing with her sisters and parents in church. It quickly became her euphoria. A self-taught musician and makeup enthusiast, India has always exercised her creative muscles. Music, much like makeup, is one of the ultimate forms of expression. With every pass of the brush, a note is played, and a stroke is a harmonic tune. A plethora of endless possibilities are waiting to be explored. Now building an empire, she hopes to leave a legacy for young girls. So I love, love, love the theming behind the brand as well, because you know, it's music. I love music. So in the PR box, it included, this is the California Dreamin' brow soap. I don't use brow soap, so I'm gonna give that to Nadia, but we will let y'all know how it performs. It also came with this super cute little compact mirror. It has their logo on the back. So as you can see, it's a dual-sided mirror, but it looks like an old iPod. Like, the packaging to me is a 10 out of 10. Then I also got some lashes. This is in the shade Style Rewind. So this is what look at this packaging. Isn't that just too perfect? They're mixtape lashes. And these are small enough little lashes that I will wear, so I'm excited to try those. And these retail for $12. She also sent over 3 of her palettes. The King of Pop, which looks like this. This one retails for $18. Now, I'm not gonna swatch these out because it will take too long, because I do plan on doing multiple looks with the eyeshadows and palettes that I received. This is the Bombshells, and this is what she looks like, a beautiful neon palette. This is vegan and cruelty-free, 24-month shelf life. This one has a 12-month shelf life and is cruelty-free. And then last but not least, I don't know if I told y'all off the Bombshells, that one is $25. And last but not least, this is the Piece de la Resistance. This is the Platinum Hits palette. This has a 36-month shelf life. It is cruelty-free. And look at that. So this is like those wet filling shimmers that a lot of brands are coming out with. So like It's Belle has this, Alien has this, Adept, a lot of brands do. But one thing that I do like about this is the price range. So this is 20 shades and this retails for $69. I paid $86 for 20 shades like this from Alien. So this is, you know, almost $20 cheaper, which is $1 a shadow, so that makes a difference. So we're gonna play with some makeup today. Actually, we're gonna do this over several days so I can test out and show you and tell you what I think so far. Because I've been trying to do that anyway, filming more looks with palettes, because if you're gonna spend your hard-earned money, a lot of y'all are not like me, where you will use a palette once. So I'm gonna pull out the neon palette, and I'm gonna grab, this is a BK Beauty 201, and I'm gonna go into that neon purple, the more of that electric shade called Work From Home. And I'm just going to blend that out in the outer half of the eye. There we go. Okay, so when I apply it, there is a little bit of patchiness, but it builds up very, very easily. But purples are notoriously hard, and neons are even harder. So, like, I don't mind a shadow that I have to build up at all. I mean, and you know, it's a $25 palette. So just kind of building it up in the crease area. Looks pretty, don't you think? I like how that performed. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a clean brush. This is the Spectrum B08 and kind of just go over the edges and the front portion, because I'm going to keep this more of like a purple look, but I'm gonna keep it towards the outer half. So now I'm gonna grab, this is a BK Beauty 202. It's stained purple. So I'm gonna use that in this shade right here, which is Don'tcha. So this is a shimmer purple, but I think it'll work fine as a matte. I swatched these earlier and it's not the most shimmery formula. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Isn't that a pretty color? I love the vibrancy of the purples that are in here. That's super cute. There we go. So I'm just kind of building it up, because as I said, I think that the best part of what I received, what I'm super excited for, is the Platinum Hits palette. Because I love, love, love a good shimmer formula. And that is beautiful and not super expensive. I mean, it's still a lot in comparison to, you know, some of the more traditional palettes, but I love that style of formula. You know, you get multi-chromes, you get duochromes, that type of thing in it. So now I'm just kind of going over the edges again. Now we're going to take that Spectrum brush. Okay, that looks super pretty. What do you think? I love the way that shimmer performed using it as a matte. Like, I think that did exactly what I wanted it to. So there is some fallout though, but not really on my face, mainly in the palette itself. Okay, so now let's do some shimmer. Let's do the exciting part. So here's my Too Faced glitter glue. We're gonna put that all over our eyelid. I can't think of the last time I did like a straight up purple. Let's do just pretty much a straight up purple. Maybe we'll use some of the pink in too. But I think I'm gonna mainly stick with purple with this because I can't think of the last time. And this is just a Cleona brush. They don't have names or numbers on them. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go into, I think I'm gonna go into this shade first, which this is the shade Happy, which is like a deeper purple. We're gonna pick that up and place that on the outer portion of the eye. That's pretty. I love that kind of color. So much so. But yeah, I swatched all these out to kind of get a game plan, but I was like, I don't know. I didn't feel like swatching live on camera, and I was like, I really don't want to take pictures today. So who knows, I may end up inserting swatches, and if I don't, I don't. Okay, so I like how that looks so far. Now I'm trying to decide, should I go the pink or should I do something? Let's go pink. We're gonna go into Counting Stars. That beautiful hot pink. It matches what's in my shirt, like you can see. There we go. It does match. Oh, that's so pretty. And yeah, see, I want to try as absolutely many formulas as possible. I think that this brand though is private labeled, so if that bothers you, just to kind of give you a heads up, it doesn't bother me because it gives brands a lot of time a starting point, and more brands are private labeled than you probably realize. But yeah, I mean, like as I said, for me that isn't a deal breaker, but for some people it is. And I always like to be honest, which is why and that's the thing, is there are a lot of people that are private labeled. That's why this formula is out there for so many, is because it's a private label formula, just to let you know. Okay, let's go ahead and clean that up a little bit. What do you think? Okay, so now I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna do the rest of my face and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line. I'm back and I have well, not all of my face, but I have most of my face on. So let's go ahead and do a couple of more things to finish off this look. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go into the King of Pop palette. You see how it's got that black shade there? I'm gonna take, this is just the Knoblet in 102. So it's just an angled eyebrow brush. I use these all the time. And I'm gonna go into that black shadow called Bad. And I'm just using that on the inner portion of my eye. To me, that really helps blend things together. You see how much of a difference that versus that? I mean, it really does blend everything together. So that way, if you're wearing false lashes, I mean, they're still gonna stand out because, you know, most people don't have lashes that look like that. But if you do, that's amazing. But you see what I'm saying? How that just kind of blends it through. And I'm gonna take that same brush in shade, and I'm going to, I need to bring it up so y'all can see. I'm gonna use that in my waterline. There we go. Now I don't have on blush, bronzer, and highlight. I am waiting for a package to come in so I can review that. So now I'm gonna go back into this one and we're gonna go into, don't ya, that purple again, and we're gonna use that underneath. And this is a A13 from Spectrum. So again, this is one of those more dense brushes. For me, these are the perfect type of brushes to use when you're doing a lower lash line like this, especially something that has a little bit more shimmer to it. I find that a denser brush works much better to apply. Okay, this is just a clean Lunar Beauty LB. What number are you? LB5. And I'm just going underneath and making sure everything's blended. Okay, there we go. And we will apply the lower lash line mascara. I love this look. I don't know about y'all, but I love a good pink purple look. Now let's use something in the inner corner. So let's go into the All I Ever Wanted. And I think I'm going to go into Baby, that whitey pink shade. I think that'll be good for the inner corner this time. Okay, what brush do I want to use? This is the Kaleidos S5. It's just like a tiny little pencil brush. Picks up nicely. And let's apply that to the inner corner. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so this is finished look number 1. What do you think? Oh, and I am wearing the lashes. I did have a struggle putting them on but that's not the lashes, that's me. These aren't the style of lashes I typically wear, but I don't think it looks bad. So we'll come back tomorrow and do another look. We're back to do look number 2 with Indi Beat Cosmetics. So I think what I'm going to start with today is I'm gonna grab, this is a BK Beauty 205, and I'm gonna go into the shade right here, this limey green called Bills, Bills, Bills. We're going to apply that to the front part of our eye. Now, I did prime my eyes using the NARS Smudge Proof Eye Primer. That's pretty much what I've been using lately. Almost empty though, so I almost have another empty. So, okie dokie, that looks pretty. That does, I like that color. I was worried that this color wouldn't show up, but I mean, it's not bad. It's not super neon, but I mean, it matches my shirt. So I can't complain too much. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab, this is a Rephr 01, and I'm going to go into this bright blue called He Loves You Not. Look how pretty that is. Okay. That's pretty. Ooh, that's pigmented too. Okay. I figured I would get most of my use out of these in the neon palette just because, you know, I love good bright colors, and it's summertime, at least for like more matte shades. Because the King of Pop palette's pretty, don't get me wrong. It's just, to me, it's a little bit more on the basic side of things. And I definitely prefer something a little bit more bright. So I'm gonna take, this is a clean BK Beauty 201. And we're gonna go over the edges and make sure everything's nice and blended. That looks good. And I'm gonna take and go back into the green shade for the front of the eye. Make sure it blends in well to the blue. You hear the train coming? We'll see if we can finish this before the train gets here. I have my doubts. Okay, going over, make sure everything's blended. Because one of the things, at least something that I noticed, I feel like my eye looks look better when they're softer. Like when I don't have, like, I mean, the harsh line here is okay, but like whenever I don't have a lot of harsh lines everywhere else, it looks the best. So I'm gonna take the shade Billie Jean, which I know that's a shimmer, but I'm gonna use that to deepen up the outer V. So let's see, what do we wanna use? Need a little brush. Okay, so this is a Rephr number 13. These are good little tiny blending brushes. And we're gonna pick up Billie Jean. Dropped my other brush. I guess the train decided not to come. Or it's being quiet today, which could be the case. That does happen from time to time. That looks pretty. See how that just gives it a little bit more depth, which a lot of times that's kind of all I'm looking for when I'm doing a look like this, is I just want a little bit something extra. But you see what I mean? Like these, even though this is more of like a metallic shade or supposed to be more of a shimmer, it works just fine because it's not a super shiny shimmer. So I think it works just fine when you're using it along these lines because it gives you that depth. I wasn't going to end it for the train, but I did. So I'm taking that shade Cruise because they got super loud as I was applying this, so we're just redoing that part. But I'm using the shade Cruise, which is like this beautiful aqua navy teal combination color. And we're applying that on the outer half of the lid on both sides. Okay, now I'm just gonna take, I have a clean makeup wipe right here. I'm just gonna wipe that off. There we go. And I'm going to go into the shade right here, which is stronger, and we're gonna apply that to the front of the eye, because it's like this beautiful line, but it also shifts other colors. Oh, that's pretty. That looks, see how pretty that looks? You just never, like for me, I play with color so much, it's like, who knows what it's gonna look like till it gets on my eyeballs. But you know, to me that's part of the fun of it, is playing and figuring out placement and all that jazz, you know? I don't want it to look like everybody else's. Okay, so gonna take that teeny tiny blue brush and go over my edges just to make sure everything's blended. Gonna take the BK Beauty on the front. There we go. All right, so this is what the top of the eyes look like. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face. We'll come back, do the lower lash line. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the medium dark bronzer by Makeup by Mario, the Wild Berry blush, and the Honey highlight. And then on my lips, I have the Sugar Pill Crystal Trinket Lip Gloss, and then I used the ColourPop Gel Cream Eyeliner in Electric Daisy. So, I really like how this looks, and I am wearing the Rewind lashes as well. So now what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this as a melt. This is kind of like a smudgy brush, and we're gonna go into the shade We Found Love. It's a beautiful, beautiful blue. And this is dense enough that if you want to use a shimmer under the eye, this works. See what I'm saying? Because that's part of the problem, is to make sure, like if you're using a shimmer under the eye, to make sure you got something that's dense enough to apply the color without it getting too crazy. Now this is just a clean melt brush, and now I'm kind of going over the edges, and I'm gonna dip that same, since this is a little bit fluffier, I'm gonna dip back into it just to make sure the pigment is how I want it to look. I like how that looks. What do you think? You know, a very blue under eye. And I did do like I did yesterday, where I used the black eyeshadow color from the King of Pop to fix where, so my lashes don't stand out so much against the lash band. This mascara is just about had it. There we go. And now we need an inner corner highlight color. I used Baby yesterday, so what do I want to use today? I think we're gonna try Havana. I think that'll look really pretty in the inner corner with this look. So this is just a 204 by BK Beauty. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Now, this is finished look number 2. What do you think? I think it looks good. So we'll see y'all tomorrow for another look. We're back and we're going to do another look with the Indi Beat Cosmetics. So I think I'm going to do more of an orangey look today. I'm excited to do some orange. I'm wearing my Queen shirt and it's got some orange and coral. So at first I'm going to go into, this is the shade Weak in the Bombshells palette. Ooh, that picks up nicely, doesn't it? And this is a ColourPop E15. Now I did use the NARS Smudge Proof, this one, Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base in light. Oh, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Okay. I was scared that that wasn't going to have pigment, and guess what? It has pigment. Okay, we like how you look, don't we? Anyways, so I haven't done, like, I do all kinds of colorful eye looks all the time, but I really haven't done anything that is like straight up orange in a while. Just like, let's play with some orange, you know? But yeah, what do you think? That looks really good, doesn't it? I mean, that like blended out like a dream. Okay, so far I've been impressed, really impressed with the Bombshells palette. So this is a BK Beauty 202. So as you can see, it's a little bit more pointed brush, and we're gonna go into the shade that deeper orange called 808, which is right down here. Okay. But yeah, let's go ahead and apply that. See how that deepens that up? Oh yeah. These all work together so well. So I'm just building up the outer crease, giving it a little bit more depth, because why not? But yeah, I think that looks really pretty. I love that color combo together as well. Well, I mean, it's orange on orange. So, I mean, it's not really a color combo yet, but it's going to be. I'm gonna take that ColourPop brush and go over the edge just to make sure everything's nice and blended. Okie dokie. We like that, okay? So I think that's where I'm gonna leave it on the mattes on this look. So we're gonna go into the Platinum Hits palette. Let me grab my glitter glue, because y'all know, if you've watched me, I always use glitter glue. This is the Too Faced. I say this like every single time. I probably don't have to, but I do. So we're using the Too Faced glitter glue till it's all gone. So this is a ColourPop E18. We're gonna take and press out our glitter glue. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go into this shade Uptown Funk, which is that true red metallic, because I'm going to keep that to add a little bit more depth on just the outer V, because, you know, I love a good metallic. And I think that, like, whenever you have it next to orange, it pulls a little bit more orange than red. But yeah, that looks really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe that brush off. And now we're gonna go into the shade Perfect, which is like that orangey kind of corally pink color. One of my favorite kind of shades. Oh yeah. And see, like, part of the thing I love about colors like that, you see how it, like, has so many shifts to it? I think that looks super pretty. Okay. I think that looks good. What do y'all think? Now, that is a little crumbly, but that's not unusual, because these are more of like a wet metallic feeling, so they can have a little bit of crumble to them. Okay, what do we think? I think it looks good. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face. We'll come back, do the lower lash line, and talk about my thoughts on the brand. So I'm back with the rest of my face on. I used the ColourPop Puppy Gel Cream Eyeliner in my waterline. On my lips, I have Made It by Propa Beauty. I love that shade. And then for bronzer, I have the new CXC Beauty in 2 shade as bronzer. Isn't that pretty? I have the Moira Blush in Orange Blossom, and then the Space Age highlighter in Diamond Dasher as my highlight. So loving how everything looks. So let's go ahead and finish you out. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. I have really no complaints for the palette. I mean, I think it performed really well, which is always, I need to not lean down so far so I don't go out of frame, which is always a plus, you know. We want to make sure that when we're, you know, using makeup that it performs well. I mean, because it can be the cheapest thing on this, under the sun, but if it doesn't do what you want it to do, you're not going to reach for it. So I'm going to use that same color pop brush with that lighter orange and just blend it out. Pretty much give myself orange circles under my eyes so it blends with the top. But all in all, as I said, I love how the whole look is coming together. I'm super excited. Okay, so now let's apply some mascara to the lower lash line. There we go. And it's super duper quiet in here, and it, I don't know. If I'm off a little bit, it is super hot. The AC in here is acting up. My husband's gonna come change the filter. If that doesn't work, then who knows what we're gonna have to do. It's always something. So I think I'm gonna go into the shade Pumped Up Kicks right here. Like a pinky, kind of greeny shade. And we're gonna use that in our inner corner today. I think that'll look pretty. And one thing I did want to tell you, so I was looking, Alien Cosmetics, if you watch me for a while, I adore Alien Cosmetics. Well, the only issue that I really have with Alien Cosmetics, the thing that kind of drives me nuts, is pretty much everything from them is pre-order, which is fine. And it, like one of the things she says is that if she gets enough bites on it, it will be permanent. And if not, most things end up being not permanent, but like temporary. Well, yeah, that's the opposite of permanent, duh, Betsy. So a lot of her palettes end up being very limited edition. So that's kind of annoying. But I did want to let y'all know that if you are looking for a dupe for, this is the All I Ever Wanted palette by Alien. This retails for $86. I bought this myself. If you're looking for a dupe for this, because this is no longer available and they're not going to sell anymore, if you look, there are a lot of shade overlaps. They're a little bit different, but I think for $69, you could get a lot of the same looks out of the Platinum Hits that you could out of the All I Ever Wanted. The Platinum Hits is definitely the standout to me. Like, I have used it in every look and I think that it's phenomenal. The lashes are great quality. I'm not wearing them again today because I have such trouble trying to put on heavier lashes. But yeah, this is a definite, like, if you're wanting one of the like more wet filling shadow palettes, this would be the one that I would probably recommend, at least at this moment, because you get the biggest bang for your buck. You get 20 shades for, no, 18 shades, sorry. I'm sitting there saying I only need 20 shades. So 6 times 3, yeah. So there's 18 shades in here for $69. I think that that is an absolute great deal. I love it. Also, I think that the Bombshells palette, I have used this in pretty much every look. Again, this is really good quality. I like the way the neons performed. $25 isn't bad for it. And last but not least is the King of Pop palette. So that's what this one looks like. And this is the one that I use the least. Just because this isn't my favorite kind of color story, especially at this time of year. I think that this would be gorgeous at Christmas time. But you know, summertime, Bombshells is definitely it. But yeah, if I've been saying 20 this whole time, I'm sorry, there's 18 shades. But again, 18 shades for that price, that's amazing. So that would be, this is like my #1 recommendation so far from the brand. and I cannot wait to try more. So thank you again, India, for sending these over to me, but I guess that's it. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Saturdays at 2 p.m. we do a live just play date, but I guess that's it. We'll see y'all later. Bye.